What's up, Angel City? It's your girl Panda here, bringing you another episode of Angel City Chicks. And of course, I am joined alongside my co host, Nina. What's going on?
What's up, everybody? What's up, Angel City fans? Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is another episode of your favorite Angel City recap show coming to you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Make sure you join us in the comments. Communicate with us. Let us know your thoughts as we go through this show. We added a new segment. We've got lots of exciting things to talk about. And to quote Mario and Casual FC podcast, we are undetweeted.
Yes, we are. We are going to recap that game, of course. You know how we have been liking to do this. We will get to that later. But of course, we have some other news and notes that we'd like to share from around the league, and we will definitely get to them. But I feel like I'm going to talk funny throughout this entire podcast.
I know. Just
Yes.
show people who want to see. I'm covering my eyes.
I bit my lip accidentally, like my little vampire teeth accidentally like chomped down on my lip, and it keeps just getting swollen and keeps getting bit again, and it hurts.
It's literally the worst thing you can do, I think, to like bite your lip or your tongue and then to keep like biting down on it. But I think you've come up with a great solution by having a liquid dinner.
I've decided that after today, which was my first official day back in the operating room at Cedar Sinai. Hold on.
Yeah, there it is.
That's not what I meant. Hold on.
I liked the applause more.
I meant more womp womp music for this. But no, today was my first official day back in the operating room. And you know how they celebrated my return into the operating room?
How?
They floated me to another unit.
They're like, welcome back, go somewhere else.
They're like, you haven't floated to a unit since November of 2022. It's your turn. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But the bad thing is they don't always know what shift you work, and they forget that some of us leave at 5 instead of 7. So I'm
Oops.
just waiting and I'm waiting and I'm like, okay. And it like 5 o'clock rolls around and no one is here. And then finally someone came. They're like, oh, what time do you leave? I'm like, 10 minutes ago. I'm like, oh, our bad. Anyways, so I raced
That's womp
home.
womp. But we're excited
Yes.
that you're back at work.
Yes, it's going to be a fantastic podcast because as we're going along with all of our viewers and listeners, the information that they hear is going to be the very first time for them. And it's also going to be the very first time for me because I have just now opened my notes for the very first time today. And
Yeah.
I'm going to learn along with you all.
It's funny because Panda and I usually like split the notes, we split the slides, or she does everything and I do nothing. And this is the first time where I edited the intro video, I did the slides, and I did the notes. And I'm like, wait, don't I usually not work this much? Like, I don't
Right?
understand.
I mean, you're gonna be so educated on this pod. Nothing is gonna come to like a surprise to you, but that's okay. I did kind of glance over them as I'm here, and I do know going into this what we're gonna talk about. I
Yeah.
did watch the game as well as I could from a bar on my phone. So I didn't really hear a lot of the commentary, but I did get to see what was going on. And yeah, I can't wait to get into that. Like you said, we have a new segment where we're going to, well, we polled a lot of our listeners. So I'm excited to share with
Yes.
you all what everybody thinks about this. But like I said, we are going to start off with just some good old fashioned NWSL news. Nina, where would you like to start?
Right here. And it's not 7 days away. This is an old post, but it is tomorrow. The Fugazi Cup, the Challenge Cup, coming to an end as we see OL Reign and Louisville facing off, as well as KC Current and NC Courage facing off. Both of those games slated for tomorrow, with OL Reign at 10 p.m. Eastern and KC Current at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's their respective opponents as well.
Yes.
But just really exciting. We're
Yeah, no,
getting
I
there.
think-
Semifinals, and then we'll get to the final. So
yeah, no, that'll be
2 more
fun.
games. Three
Who
more
do
games.
you
I can
who do you-
math. 3 more games.
Who do you think is going to be in the final?
Ooh, good question. You know, I'm feeling a little bit of a Louisville upset right now. That's just gut talking. So I think we're going to see Louisville, KC Current, and I see KC Current taking it.
Oh, wow. Well, that'll be a little upsetting considering, well, we just kind of beat them.
I
So
know.
can win it all. What's that say about what our chances would have been had we really came out swinging from the gates whenever the Challenge Cup started?
Yeah. What do you think? Are you predicting any upsets
Um,
here?
I don't know. Obviously, Courage is always been hot, and they know how to win the big games.
They
There are
do.
no that those are not hard for them to conquer. So I think yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be Courage. I think they're gonna beat Current, and I don't know.
Oh.
It'd be cool to see Orlando upset OL Reign. I can't say they've been in like the best form of late, so I don't know. Let's go
So you want
Orlando
to
and see Courage. Let's see
if
how
y-
that goes.
so if you're going complete opposite of me, should we put a bottle of wine on this?
Do Hold on. Do I buy you it or do I drink it if I lose? Isn't that how games work? You drink if you lose.
All right. Winner gets to pick the bottle that we split.
It'll be the same thing, Nina.
I know. Winner has to buy the bottle. No, loser has to buy the bottle for the winner and for us to split together.
Okay. Well, we can do
So
that. We will do that. Now, what if it's split?
then we both have to buy a bottle.
Oh gosh. So that's what we're gunning for. We're hoping for OL Reign and NC Courage or the opposite.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
you
Okay.
have Rain and Courage. And Current. No,
No,
I have
I
Current.
have Courage and Louisville.
Oh, you're taking 3 and 4 and I'm taking 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're taking the top
Okay.
seeds and I'm just going I'm going something different. So
Okay. I
because
accept this.
I am delirious and a bit sleep deprived, so nothing I say or do today will make any sense to anybody. And yeah, so I'm here for it.
All right, I accept this. I will look forward to my bottles of wine.
Perfect. I look forward to buying them. All right.
All right.
So, moving
Oh,
forward, let's talk a little bit about August since it has come to a close and we are now in September. But August provided a lot of really fun games. Predominantly, a lot of them were Challenge Cup games, but they did do a best 11. And as silly and dumb enough, there's no coach on this, which I think we all know who would get the August
mhm.
coaching nod. It has to be, I mean, the one, the only Becky Tweed, who has gone undefeated or undetweeted, as they like to say on Casual Pod FC. So I think she would definitely have gotten that nod if they did that, but they do not award a coach or a bench for this matter, like some of the others do. But
Right?
either way, is there any
At
notable?
least a coach. At least give a nod to whichever coach is doing the best.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anybody stand out to you on this list?
I'm mostly irritated by this because I feel like we got snubbed. We've had such a strong run to see teams that we've beaten have players on here. Cough, cough. Where are we? Like, I get it, but
Here's
I,
my thought.
yeah,
We have not had one dominant player on our team. Like the way that we have been playing, especially since
that's
Becky
true.
Tweed has taken over, we have really had a plethora of different players show up and show out and score goals and be contributing to that winning score line. So they probably looked at it and thought, well, gosh, like I can't pick one. Like they've all been pretty solid. You've got Le'Veon, who's really showed up a lot of times and done some
Yeah.
amazing things. Jasmine Spencer in that last game, with her little run and, like showing how she can play that forward role that she likes to play. And I mean, just all the same like solid ones. I mean, Camberos doing things. We had a lot of
Barrows should have
contribution.
been up there. She's looked great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think
Like,
Le'Veon has
I
too,
get what you're
honestly.
saying. I
So
get what you're saying. Like a lot of it is a communal effort. It's everyone coming together and supporting each other. So I get that.
I
I
will
mean,
take that 10 out of 10 times instead of just one standout player who just like really killed it. I love a full team effort because that just means that they won't know who to attack. They won't know who they need to double team. They can't. They have to watch everybody out there on the pitch because right now we have a lot of different threats and I like that with us.
okay, that makes me feel better. I still feel like we got snubbed, and I definitely feel like they need to start including a coach. Like big missed opportunity NWSL, add
For
a
sure.
coach.
Yep.
But
Absolutely. So there is your best 11. If you are not on YouTube, go and check that out. Or I'm sure you're on the socials and you can see the graphic. I'm not going to go through all the players. All I can tell you is there was not an Angel City player. And that is kind of why we were a little like, meh, meh. All right. Now,
all right. Before we get into ACFC news, we have one more thing. Then this could end up affecting us as we look to NWSL news. The Chicago Red Stars have been sold $60 million to a new ownership group that includes the Cubs co-owner. So very exciting for them. I think, there's a lot of momentum that can happen when ownership changes. And I'll tell you that makes me nervous because I don't need Chicago Red Stars gaining momentum and having speed leading into a game against us.
yeah, you never know how that affects a club. Sometimes it's a negative effect. And sometimes it's a positive effect. And in this kind of situation, the trend we've been seeing with women's sports as of late is we have been seeing them sell them, and not because they want to get rid of them and they're bad. It's because they see them as a true investment. They see them as something that is really going to cause, a lot of revenue in the future, and people want to get in on that. And, it's a great thing. So in this situation for Chicago, absolutely. They got new people coming in who are excited about the team. And anytime you have people that are coming in and are excited about you and your brand, then, it kind of gives you a little bit more of that like pep in your step, a little a little like, yeah, let's go out and play for them. They believe in us and they know that we can be like something that is going to be in their long-term plans. So we really want to show them that, hey, you made a good decision. So I get what you're saying with any kind there's shakeup and changes. You just don't know how it's going to resonate across the club.
Yeah, I feel like this one's going to be positive. We know the Red Stars have had a little bit of trouble, especially with abuse scandals and their coach. So I think this investment in players and showing that they're still worthwhile and that people are there to support them and they're going to see positive change for the organization is going to go really well. But, two teams still remaining open for sale in the NWSL, OL Reign, of course, and the Portland Thorns being two of them. So do you think also that Portland Thorns could possibly go for more money if the Timbers and Thorns agree to redo the turf to grass, which is going to be a messy change?
I mean, they have to. I'm sorry. They all have to at this point. I mean, I think it's inevitable.
It
So,
makes you worth more if you have grass, I feel like.
well, yeah,
And players want to
absolutely. I
go
mean,
more.
if you've got turf, there's going to be big name players that are going to refuse to play in those environments, or they're going to get negative press. When there's injuries that occur and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I think it definitely kind of gives you a little bit more worth. Maybe not something tangible you can see right away, but I think over the long term, absolutely. So that's going to be real exciting to see what's going to happen with those two clubs as well, because they are big name clubs. These aren't like little podunk clubs that haven't been producing any kind of, winning records or championships as of late. I mean, they've definitely been up there competitive for the last many years. So it's going to be exciting to see where those land. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll definitely try to bring that to you as soon as we are aware of what's going on. So
Yeah.
anyways,
Speaking of messy and press, though, you saw Kristen Press and Tobin Heath were at the game.
I did. It looked like they were in the owner's box cheering on, well, they were wearing LAFC jerseys, but I'm sure they were there to see Messi. So that was kind of cool to see them there supporting. And, just there's so many people at that game. I cannot even talk about it yet. I'm not ready.
Yeah, definitely have not mentally processed it.
No, I haven't. I've been off of Twitter specifically for that because it's so toxic. I cannot. But yeah, either way, it was good to see her looking happy and motivated. No new updates on her, of course, but at least she's in good spirits.
Yep. But unfortunately, and this is something I know we posted and we've all talked about and had some time to emote over.
Oh Lord, guys. All right. So, well, what we're alluding to, if you're hearing our audible gasp, is of course the news that we all knew we were going to hear but didn't want to hear, and it is that Julie Ertz has retired, I guess effective immediately. I mean, she literally said, "Oh yeah, I'm not coming back."
And on behalf of anyone who's ever had like that work fantasy of just like walking out and starting a new life, I'm just glad she had the money to do it. 'Cause
yeah, certainly can't do that without some kind of long-term plan. I guess we can give our thoughts on this a little bit. I think definitely some mixed reviews out there on social media.
All right, pull the Band-Aid
Um
off. Just say what you really feel.
I feel used. I feel used. And and I love Julie Ertz. She's amazing. We need her. I wanted to see her continue. And I feel like I would have rather her said coming out, like, I'm gonna come and play, blah, 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 get through this World Cup, and then reassess where I need my career to go after the World Cup. I would have respected that wholeheartedly. But I guess I was just filled with so much hope and excitedness. And I was just like, I couldn't wait for her to come back from the World Cup
Yeah.
because, I thought this is really going to push us into playoffs. And then to just, I don't know, I just feel used. And I get it. She is a mom and she is a wife and she's a philanthropist. She has a lot going on in her life and definitely deserves to make the decision that is best for her and her family without anybody else's 10 cents. Good for
Yeah.
her. Glad she did it. And I hope that, this is a decision that she is happy with and comfortable with and can move on with her life, knowing that she made the best decision for herself. But that does not mean that it still doesn't hurt. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that I'm not still upset about it. Happy for
Mhm.
you. Upset that we don't get to see you play anymore for our team. And
Or
I
play anymore.
wish I could have seen her play one more game and then like announce it at a game or play in one more game and us give her a send off. Like, I
Something
just
it's
feel
missing the
like,
bow on top. It's missing the true closure because for someone who's been so impactful in the world of soccer and the world of women's sports in general, not just because of who she is, but the way she is, her family support, the fact that she's out there, like to just have it stop without having that crescendo, that final "Ba-da!"
I
It
mean,
just
yeah,
feels
like to
wrong.
me, it just feels a little, and I don't mean this bad, but just makes you feel like she just didn't care. Like it just
Like you
didn't
got
matter.
ghosted.
Yeah, we just got ghosted. Like yes, everything else in your life is probably more important than this, but you were very important to us. So I guess I would have
Yeah.
liked that chance to see her one
So
more time and say goodbye in person. And
do you feel like Julie owes us the ability to say goodbye? Because here's the other thing I start playing devil's advocate with myself when I'm, like, bored at night. Um, I can only imagine like, I have a hard time saying goodbye to people as it is. Like, if I leave a job, I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, "I've been here 6 months. I don't even know you. I don't even actually like you people, but I'm crying." But, at the same time, can you imagine, like, starting a whole new career in the public light? Like, I don't know if I would have been able to handle, like, a goodbye
well, I mean,
if I was Julie.
I watch Friends a lot, and that episode where
Oh,
Rachel's telling everybody goodbye when she's going to Paris, and Ross is waiting in the back. He's just waiting. He's waiting. He's like he's
you're gonna make me
preparing
cry.
himself mentally to say goodbye to her because he knows how hard it's going to be because of their history, and she just leaves, and
Yeah.
he's like, I don't even get a goodbye. He's like, what? I don't mean anything to you. And goes on this whole thing. And she goes, you really think that? And goes on to say, it's because you mean too much. And maybe soccer in general, not just Angel City, means too much to her that it's really hard to publicly say goodbye
Yeah.
without looking like a complete and utter, like, babbling buffoon. And this is the best way to just do it, to just Irish exit right on out of this league and soccer in general because it just means too much and it's just too hard. So,
I hope that that's what it is. It does feel a little bit like we were used for her to, like, warm up and play in her last World Cup, and
well,
she have
wasn't it
intentions of
Blotko who
coming
said they
back.
had to be part of a club team in order to play? That was the whole thing. So she had to choose, and obviously this is the
We
obvious
owned her
choice.
rights,
We owned her
so
rights. So I mean, I guess the writing was always kind of on the wall, but I don't know. It still means I'm still sad about it. Still hurts. It
yeah.
hurts for Ertz.
Oh, that's cute. Um, yeah. So with
Anyway,
that, I mean, all I can think about and all I've been thinking about because I've been rewatching The Office at night is the episode when Toby goes away and Michael writes a song for him, and it's the tune of what is it? Goodbye Stranger.
I don't
Right?
watch The
Well,
Office.
if I
I watch
do,
Friends.
it's been nice. I hope you find your paradise. You're welcome. Michael sings it like that. He sings it all falsetto. I'm not just being weird. I am just being weird, but all I can.
What just happened here? I don't even know how to feel. Like Nina just like serenaded everyone. I don't know that's ever happened. You don't know songs. You don't know
I don't,
music. You can't
but I know
sing.
The Office because I rewatch it all the time.
I don't think I've seen an entire episode of The Office ever.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. The way it's filmed, it bothers me. I don't like it.
Oh, you've said that before. Yeah, I
know.
see
It's
that.
okay. No, it's okay. Seinfeld, Office, Friends, we are all different people, and that is okay. Let's just all laugh together separately. With our
Take
shows.
your
It's
laughter
okay.
far away from me. No. All right. But we do have we have happy news because Dodgers night, ACFC night at Dodger Stadium, not Dodgers night, but ACFC night at Dodger Stadium is going to be Wednesday, September 13th. Make sure you go through and click the group ticket links so that way you get to sit with everybody and you probably get some cool swag.
Absolutely. So that is September 13th. So that's what, next Wednesday you said?
Yes, and
Are we going?
difficult. It's so hard to get to Dodger Stadium on a Wednesday night. Like that's all I can
know.
think about is traffic.
I mean, I know. It really is, and it sucks that is such a big factor with doing things around here is just traffic and getting places. It's just,
Yeah.
I know there's just too much to do and it's too spread out and we just don't have enough time and we're tired and
we bit our lip and all we want is wine and dinner.
I know, and to hang out with the gremlins and Christian, I haven't even got to talk to him. He's was like on the bike, so
Which
I just
gremlin
literally
is
came
Christian?
home. Huh?
Which of your cats is Christian?
The two-legged one. All right. Anyways, so we talked about some stuff. We talked about NWSL stuff. We talked about our Angel City news, and I don't know. Is there anything else out there? I've been a little disconnected. This weekend was nuts. I went back, like I said, to work last week for paperwork and stuff. I was in a fog. I didn't know what was happening. It was just weird, and I'm still kind of there. But did anything else happen other than us winning a game? Nope. Cool. All right.
I thought that was it. I wrote down my notes.
I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything, but I guess let's just talk about it. Let's just get into it. We've talked about stuff, some nonsense as well for the first 20 minutes. Let's recap this game because we talked about how incredibly important this game against KC Current was. We both went into this last game against each other being undefeated in the last 5 games, which was huge, and we were both very close on the table. Every point matters. And we knew this was going to be a big one. We knew this was going to be a tough one. And wow. We had some changes, didn't we not?
Some changes, some chaos, all of the things. You know, this game was the first time we saw a start for Angelina Anderson in goal. And we actually saw the first appearance of Amandine Henry, who actually ends up subbing in the 68th minute and getting close to 30 minutes of playing time when you take 35 when you take in all that stoppage time they added on at the end. But you know how we like to start out by spoiling the game for you. We won!
We did. We beat KC Current, and we did make a little headway in the standings. Finally, I feel like it's been just like a slow climb up, and we win, someone else win. Like, you know, it's like that frustrating, like revolving door happening at the bottom of the table. And this one felt good. I felt like we took a solid step, and and it was a great performance. So why don't we get into it?
Yeah, let's dive right on in. You know, we had said last week that we would be happy with a point on the road, especially against a team like KC Current that was getting so much momentum. And we ended up taking it 1-0 on the road with a goal by forward playing defender, Jasmine Spencer.
Did you hear the thing she said about playing under Becky Tweed? How she said she likes that she allows her a little more freedom to do what she needs to do, especially on the wing, and I think push up and kind of set herself into that forward role because, I mean, we can see she does love playing forward. I think she likes scoring goals, and this game would prove that to everyone. And I like when people play the
Mhm.
way they want to play. I feel like they play happier. I feel like they play more confident. And
Absolutely. You have to play with creativity and fun. Otherwise, you just become rigid and angry and
yeah,
bad. So,
absolutely. Yep.
yeah. I
All
mean,
right.
very happy that initially moved us into 7th place. Of course, we know that didn't hold completely, but takes us to a very good spot just below the playoff line. And it was actually also our first shutout win of the regular season. So,
Well,
gotta love
that's
that. That gets a lot of momentum for Angelina when we start talking about our fan question.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right. That's going to be a very exciting thing to highlight here in just a moment, and we'll get into that. But let's talk a little bit about Angel City. And they had their first chance of the game in the 11th minute, following a free kick by forward Clarice Lebion. The ball fell into the 6-yard box where defender Paige Nielsen was making a run, and the ball pinged off either it was Nielsen or her marker, Kate Delfava, and they both kind of crashed into the net, and it was on frame, but of course, the keeper, French, made an impressive reflex save to block it out for a corner kick for Angel City.
Okay, and for those of you who don't know, Amanda and I don't like well, not that we don't like. Whenever we hear France, we have to go France. So
Well, it's
unfortunately, French sounds a lot like France, and especially like the Air France commercials and stuff that are playing nonstop right now. If you're listening, oh,
well, every time I see or hear the name French, I think of like some like redneck hillbilly trying to say like French. It was French. That's all I can think about. So when I hear French, I feel like it's somebody with
you're
a
so
really
Midwest.
it's a real thick, like Southern Midwest accent trying
Oh
to
my
say
goodness.
French. Like, I want some French fries,
Like
right?
Air France.
France.
Uh,
Or like the girl
France.
from the from the pageant, the USA pageant. They were all
Oh,
like Colombia or
oh yeah,
Venezuela, and she goes France.
yeah, that girl.
All right. Anyways, let's not get off the
Oh,
rails. I don't have enough bandwidth in me to
to keep
to do
going
that.
so chaotically.
Right. So let's move on into the 25th minute. We're going to see ACFC keeper Angelina Anderson, who, as we had mentioned before, made her NWSL regular season debut. Remember, we did see her in the Challenge Cup before, but she was able to answer with an eye-popping stop of her own. Kansas City midfielder Michelle Cooper, she sent a long diagonal ball into the run of forward Kristen Hamilton. Hamilton sprinted into the box. She cut past her defender. She sent a low shot to the far post, but Anderson dove right to deflect it over the end line. Save for
Woo-hoo.
Anderson.
She was looking so good, and we'll talk about her more in a minute. I don't want to give anything away, but she looked dang good. Nielsen has a chance in the 32nd minute, a corner kick, of course, by Lebion to defender Elizabeth Ball. But Ball didn't manage to direct her header, and it bounced to a wide open Nielsen, who heads it over the bar.
Yes, and then we are going to see in some stoppage time forward Scarlett Camberos. She's going to get the ball on the right wing, dribble it into the box, and she shook her defender Izzy Rodriguez and kind of took a crack at the near post. But French blocked for a corner kick
See, if you
again.
keep doing that, you're going to get me off track, and then I'm going to distract you.
I can't help it. I'm tired. I need to do anything that's like put me up there. So keep going.
All right. And then Kansas City Current had a look in the 48th minute when forward Haley Mace took a shot in a transition play that Gordon blocked. And a few moments later, Cooper sent a recycled cross back in for Dabinia, whose shot defender Jasmine Spencer was able to block.
She is so good back there. She's so quick. She's so strong on her feet. And you know what she also is? Goal scorer.
Yeah, she is.
As this half went on and this game kind of got stretched with some mistakes that were leading to turnovers on both sides, but we are going to see this long solo run that's going to lead to a shot on target by Spencer in the 62nd minute. French saved, foreshadowed what would be the game winner a few minutes later. So let's talk about that, because she kind of did a little thing and it was a little ominous about what was going to happen in the 66th minute.
Yeah, in that 66th minute, Spencer makes a run up the right into the box, beating Dabinia. Like, you could put a period exclamation point on that one on the dribble, because let's remember, this isn't like somebody small to take on in a dribble, and Jasmine Spencer just takes it with ease. She makes it look easy. She's so speedy on this, and her initial shot ends up actually being blocked by a defender, but that gets deflected right back to her feet. And Jasmine Spencer is not one to pass up an opportunity. She takes a second shot, which has a slight deflection en route to the far right post, skips right past Franch and into the back of the net. And that is actually Spencer's first goal in an Angel City uniform.
I think that really deserves an applause because, I think so many times last season she just was stuck in that defender role, and I just don't know if the system we were running or the formations that we were putting out were allowing her to really push up and create the chances that she did. And you can see what happens when she's able to play with that freedom. I love this so much for her, and I love that. Yeah, we are now up 1-0, but we are going to see Kansas City pick up the pace entering the final 20 minutes of regulation. And Dabinia, she did have a near miss in the 72nd minute. The midfielder combined with Mace to beat her defender near the corner of the 18 and then fired off a rocket that went just wide of goal.
Yeah, and the game pretty much comes to an end there in the 83rd minute. Sydney Leroux, who had just stepped into the game, volleyed a service from right on target, forcing Franch into another full extension dive in order to make the stop. And the stoppage time that never ends freaking irritates the heck out of me. We were told at first they announced 9 minutes, and they're like, oh, it's actually going to be 10. And then they let it go like 12. How rude.
It's a lot of time to have to hold down to really get those 3 points. And I think this really shows a lot of maturity and intelligence on our team to be able to do that. They knew how important those 3 points were to them in making the playoffs. They were able to hold it down, able to come out with a shutout, a goal, and 3 points. And I couldn't be happier for them in this matchup. What was your highlight of the game, Nina?
Ooh, good question. I mean, as much as I get excited for Spencer when she scored, I almost did you whenever she scored. You know how you always say whenever instead of when? Do you notice you do that, right?
Do I do that?
Yeah, it's so cute. I love it. In addition
to first time hearing of this. What are we talking about? I don't even know.
I'm derailing us more. I'll tell you more about it in the fluff. Let me make a note to tell you about the whenever stuff in the fluff. Whatever.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So note added. I mean, I would say it was the fact that we were forced to play against a team that we knew was going to try and counter quickly, and we had to remain composed. So I always look to like Sarah Gordon and Vignola on that back line to try and really keep the team solid. And it's very interesting to me when we see that new keeper dynamic come in there. So I got to give it to the back line for holding this one down. They in general were my favorite part of this game. What about you?
I mean, yeah, similar to that. I mean, just Anderson starting her first one in goal, getting a shutout, and actually, making some like real deal legit saves. And you talk about the back line and how well they held it down. That means there has to be some good communication back there between backline and keeper. So, I mean, I don't know. I think this kind of leads us into our question of the week, Nina. Do you want to go ahead and get into that and talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to. And if you are here live on YouTube with us, go ahead and get at us in the chat. We've got some reactions to this, but we said we wanted to try some new segments. We want to be more interactive. So here it is, our question of the week. Who should be the ACFC starting keeper and why? Whew. So, Panda, do you want to give your immediate reaction to this, or should we go through what everyone has said?
Let's go through what everyone else has said, and I'll see if there's anything that I like agree with. Like, they might be able to say it better than I can at this moment, but I want to go over some of these because there's some good reasons. So, how do you want to go through this? Do you want to go through? We did this poll on Instagram and on the story as a question, so we have a couple different ways to give this information. But
yeah, I think let's just start calling some of them out. I want to start with somebody on Instagram who replied to the story, and they said, "Don't make us answer the unanswerable." So I think we got to throw that out there first. This is an insane question. We have so much talent on our back line. Like, it's nearly impossible to have to answer this, but we are going to take that into consideration and answer it anyway. Uh, here we go.
I'm gonna start. Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You saw
No,
one?
I'm gonna start out by saying, honestly, at this point, any one of them that could start, I would feel comfortable and confident in. I mean, Dee Dee's got like the veteran mentality. She's smart. But there's some other attributes that the other two have that, I think if all their forces combined and they could be like a transformer and just put them all together, I think we'd be unstoppable. So I think they all add something a little different to their goalkeeping that makes them an asset.
That's
But
fair.
anyways, let's read what
I
everybody
will
else
say,
has to say.
we did get a lot of people saying Dee Dee shouldn't be there anymore and it was time to move on. Like, that, unfortunately, was kind of an overwhelming response. And then, I know that I've been Team Eisenhower. I do think that I would pick Eisenhower over Anderson, just throwing out my 2 cents here. But we got a lot of people going with Anderson because she deserves to be number 1 after her performance in the Challenge Cup and in this game. Anderson, it has better reach, people are saying. They like Eisenhower and Anderson. We got one person saying Dee Dee. We got one person who would keep Dee Dee, but for all the responses, it was a lot of Angelina Anderson. And, I do like this idea of talking about like her reach and her positioning. Angelina Anderson, to put this in perspective, she's 22 years old and she's 5'11". Dee Dee Haricic, 31 years old. Not that age is everything, but she's 5'9". Like,
she's not a big threatening force out back there.
And then here's why, though, I still go Brittany Eisenhower. She's 25 years old and she's only 5'8". And I'll tell you, when you're shorter, you got to make up for things with better positioning, better awareness, better tactics, better skill on the ball. And I think that as good as Angelina Anderson is, I think that Brittany Eisenhower is the person I would want to see behind there. But maybe I just haven't seen enough yet.
I mean, I don't know if any of us have seen enough. I mean, we've seen Anderson twice and she hasn't given us a reason to not think she should keep going. Dee Dee has been the keeper and started every game other than this one. So she's given us, I'm sure, more reasons to be the keeper than not, but there's still plenty of things we can say that we're like, sometimes, ball distribution or ball at her feet sometimes isn't always the greatest. I mean, we have definitely seen her give the ball away a few times unnecessarily, and it results in goals. But I've also seen Dee Dee have some phenomenal reactionary saves too.
Absolutely.
Like you said, with her height and everything, she does have some athleticism that does cause her to be probably a little very mobile in that sense. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's a great problem to have. We have 3 fantastic keepers, I think. And I don't know. I know chemistry is a big thing, being able to really form a bond with everybody. So when someone suggests, we would benefit from rotating them all 3, what do you think that does?
I don't think that's ever a good idea because everyone, even if you teach like the same system, they're going to have different styles of communication. They're going to want the ball played to them slightly differently, whether they want it on the outside of their foot or the inside of their foot, whether they prefer to have like a 2-yard run up versus have it directly at them. Everyone communicates and has different preferences when they're playing
the game to game.
Mm-hmm. So it would be unfair to the back line to not have some consistency in there. You can deal with a little bit of a switch up here and there, but I think that's why we see a lot of teams having one starting keeper because everyone is just slightly different. So I do think it needs to be one with like a solid number 2. But, what we're seeing a lot from people who are saying these things and for people who responded to us is Anderson has better reach, better reaction time, better placement in goal. She seems more polished. And I don't think they're wrong. And if you're going to really look and play the long game, you can't go wrong with a 22-year-old. So,
I think I remember watching the documentary on HBO and remembering how coming into Angel City's first season, Dee Dee was ready to retire and hang up her boots. And we gave her the opportunity to come back. And, I think she was phenomenal for us. And, you have to look at this as like, she was almost ready to retire. I can't imagine that is very far off from her anyways. I can't imagine she's not too upset about being able to kind of slowly hand the reins off to someone younger. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think, like you said, I think youth is a good thing for longevity with us. And she seems to play very well with everybody. I mean, a clean sheet is no easy task. And she did it. She came, she saw, she conquered, left with 3 points because of her, thankfully. And I think it's there's a reason she started over Eisenhower in this game. We are not in practice every day. We are not the ones that make the decisions. They do, the ones that see what's going on. And they clearly saw something in Anderson that said, you're going to be our girl today. And this was an important game. This was not a Challenge Cup game where we can afford to just throw someone in to, keep their legs loose or to give them playing time. This was a game going into it. They put in a keeper who they said in their eyes, this is a one that we can use that we think is going to give us 3 points. And that's what happened.
Yeah. So follow-up question. Do you think if in the next match we see Anderson start, she is now officially our starting keeper? Do you think that kind of solidifies and answers the question for you?
I mean, possibly, especially if she does start in the next one. Let's just say, like, we'll go over when our next game is. But when is it?
It's going to be on the 17th.
That's right. Right. Gosh, the 17th?
Yeah, we got 2 weeks because we're taking time off for Fugazi Cup.
Yes. Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, we have plenty of time, and Dee was out because of COVID protocol. So I'm guessing by that time she will feel better. I don't even know if she felt bad. I just know they probably tested her, and that is why she was out. So it had nothing to do with performance.
Yeah.
But in that moment, they knew exactly who they were going to play as their starting keeper once they found out Dee could not be the girl for them. So
you got to earn your spot.
Yeah. If she is healthy and ready to go, I'll be curious to see who they choose. And maybe the practice leading up to that is really what's going to happen. I don't know that the game is going to be the deciding factor. It's going to be what they put into work every single day leading up to that decision. I guarantee you they won't even know the answer to that question till the day before the match. So why would we know the answer to that?
I have a crystal ball. I didn't tell you about it.
Oh, fantastic. Where are my lottery numbers?
37, 42, 6, 11, 5, 21.
If someone wins because they played your lottery numbers, I hope we get like $100.
I don't even know how many numbers I named.
I don't know either. Was one of those the Powerball?
No, the Powerball is actually going to be 4.
I'm going to go back and rewatch this and write it down and just see what you did. But either way, that was our question of the week. If you hear us or see us put these out next week, we will do this, of course. Please chime in, answer. We want to hear your thoughts. That's what we do this podcast for, is not to tell you guys just our thoughts. We like to share everyone's thoughts on what's going on. And a lot of people are very happy with Anderson's performance. And, we'll see what happens. I think whoever starts in the next one, they're probably going to stick with if their performance was good enough. So
yeah,
let's
go into that performance, because she saw 18 shots, 2 on target. So she had her work cut out for her against a very hot team. Angel City, of course, coming in with 15 shots, 6 of those on target, but with a little less possession and a little less on the number of passes, but great pass accuracy up there at 74% to KC Current 76. We had 13 fouls to their 5, so a little chippy action there, but they got 2 yellow cards and we didn't get any. So I'll take what I can get. And 8 corner kicks for KC Current to our 11. We are still missing that ability to really capitalize on those opportunities. But, when you're taking 15 shots, you're going to end up with some corner kicks.
Absolutely. I mean, that just tells me that we are pushing forward. We are, getting the ball into that attacking third. And, we're just, the more, I hope we're practicing corner kicks a lot, because we certainly get a lot of them.
Just set pieces in general.
Right. I like these stats, though. I like this. We have less shots, more on target. So our accuracy was there. We were intentional in our shots. And, possession doesn't mean anything. It's all about what you do with it when you have it. And I like that. I feel like we did more with the ball, even though we had it less. So these are great stats, in my opinion. I like it. I'm happy with these. And obviously, the most important column in that being the goal column was in our favor. I'll take it. I'll take the 3 points. solid performance by our girls and our team. Very proud of them. And, we didn't really talk about Amandine Henry. I don't know, again, I was watching on my phone at a bar, so being able to pick out individual performance, I didn't really. Was there anything that you saw from her, or was it just, it was kind of minimal, very defensive efforts more once she was in the game? What are your
It
thoughts?
gave me like Clarice LeBion vibes when she first came over, where she seems to just kind of fit really well, not super standout for any good or bad reason, but just solid. So it really gave me Clarice LeBion vibes, where then I grew to love her more and more and more.
I think that not noticing her initially and right away is a good thing. I mean, she blended in. She wasn't doing anything crazy. She wasn't trying to, like, do something to, like, stand out. She was feeling it out. I mean, that's the best way for her to get better with our team, is to play with it. You could practice all day long, but it's never the same as a game, and getting those game time minutes. I hope we see her more and more. We're definitely going to need a good solid midfielder that's replacing Ertz, and I think she's a good one. I hope she stays healthy, and I hope we see her more.
Absolutely. If you're with us on YouTube, you can see those standings right there. We had mentioned that this game had pushed us into that 7th spot, but unfortunately dropping down to 8th just based on goal differential here. So in the number 1 spot right now, San Diego Wave, followed by Portland Thorns, then NC Courage. In the number 4 spot, OL Reign, and New York, New Jersey Gotham, separated only by goal differential. In that 5th place spot, Washington Spirit. And then tied between 7th and 8th, with Louisville taking it for the positive goal differential. We end up in 8th. And then below us, OL Orlando.
Oh my gosh.
Or OL Reign.
You are struggle bussing.
Orlando Pride, and then Houston Dash in 10th, Red Stars in 11th, and KC Current, who are going to be playing in the Fugazi Cup semifinals, bringing it up in last place.
Yeah, no, that was, again, those 3 points were huge for us, detrimental to them, but they still can focus on the tournament. So, maybe that's where they were putting their head anyways at the end of it all, and they'd be all right. They'll be all right. They're getting ready to get their own soccer specific stadium just for their girls. So exciting for them. I'm just looking at the schedule, kind of curious on what's coming up and how important it is. Oh, I will say this: Houston losing to San Diego this week was huge. We definitely needed that. We don't need them to make any headway. We have Louisville and Dash coming up. That's going to be a game. That's going to be interesting. I'm looking at
those
the
points for
standings.
sure. And when I look at this, I see like we currently have a -3 goal differential, which is clearly holding us back. And we're going to be taking on, of course, Chicago Red Stars. Now, Red Stars have a -17 goal differential, which means we need to put like 5 away on them to get ourselves into a positive goal differential. And we know they've been letting them in. But once again, they have that ownership change, and you never know what momentum's going to do for a team.
Yeah. And the good thing is Orlando Pride, they're playing North Carolina. So that'll be we what?
I'm asking Orlando to lose.
Yeah, Orlando can lose, Chicago can lose, Portland and Reign. I would love for Portland to beat them. Why not? That's fun. And then Current and Wave are playing. So, that doesn't allow, I'm just allowing people to not climb up in any way, shape, or form, because we got bit in the end last year by somebody who was like, we weren't even thinking about. They weren't even a factor, I don't think. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the right teams won and the wrong teams lost. And here we were. So again, keeping an eye on those below us is very important. And look, we can do this. We're not out of this. So keep the faith alive. The system and what we're doing right now seems to be working. And I'm excited because, like you said, our next game is against Chicago Red Stars. And I feel like those should be 3 points we get. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. We should get those 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting match. Let's take a look right here. So we know head to head, they've had 2 wins to our 1, but I'm still feeling promising. Chicago Red Stars have been a pain in our butt when it comes to especially getting closer to playoff time. So we really need to take home this win. We got to do it for Sarah. We know Sarah has that little rivalry going on with her old team. So let's give it to them. Let's show them a 5-0 loss. Let's improve our goal differential. And let's make the new owners regret their choices.
Right. Like we said, September 17th. This is an away game. So hopefully some fun watch parties. It'll be at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hope to see you all watching that. You have plenty of time to make plans for it. You have 12 days, almost 2 weeks to get ready for this game. So hopefully we can
Crazy.
all get together.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other important games coming up as well. September 21st, we have Orlando Pride. It's going to be the Celebración de Culturas and a photo frame giveaway. I don't know what that
Woo-hoo.
means. Are they giving
Yeah.
us a photo frame?
I guess it's just like a picture frame, but for
People
a smaller photo. I don't know.
people still use picture frames?
I do.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, so that one will be at home. So that will, I think that's
Yeah, these are our last 2 home games that we've got up
Yeah.
for you here on the YouTubes. Crazy. If we don't make playoffs, this is it. These are our last 2 tailgates, last 2 home games. October 15th being a really fun one. Make sure you've got that penciled in right now. That's Fan Appreciation Day. And we are going to be doing a tailgate brunch that day. So super excited for that. But honestly, I don't want the season to end. So we need to
keep
get some
going.
points. We need to score some goals. We need to win, win, win.
Right. I mean, I'm broke as a joke right now, knowing that I just finally went back to work. But hey, I will figure out how to pay for playoff tickets if I have to.
You're going to play in the playoffs?
If I play, do I get free tickets? How does that work?
So they don't want you to actually touch the ball. They just want you to run because they've seen you shoot.
I can run absolutely all day long. So that's good. So yes, mark those down on your calendar. Come join us on the 15th for breakfast. And I think we're doing mimosas instead of our regular tailgate tonic. Our angel juice that we have going on. If you've had it, you probably don't remember it because it's that crazy.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Anyways, let's enjoy these last few regular season games. I'm going to say last games because I think we're going to do it. We're going to make playoffs, guys. We're going to come out of this on fire. You ready?
I agree with that. Yeah. And, we like to leave with a quote. So before, make sure you stick around for the fluff. Don't go away. Because I'm going to explain the whenever thing to Amanda. But we like to end with a quote. And this one is coming to you from our coach, Becky Tweed. She says, "You have to do the ugly stuff really well. To keep moving forward as a team, you have to be well-rounded." And we just grafted out a good result against a really good team on the road.
She's not wrong. And I mean, again, an ugly win is still a win and we'll take it. And I'm sure there was a lot to be learned from that going forward. Either way, we don't have to worry about it going backwards. We only look forward. So having said that, there's only one way that we like to end our podcast. Nina?
Bye.
Bye.
And here's our fluff. All right. So it's really cute that you do this. I thought I'd pointed it out to you before, but
maybe I don't understand it.
Okay. So like when I talk about a situation that happened, I'll be like, "Hey, do you remember when we went to the bar together?" Like specific time. So it's that one time when we went to the bar together and we did shots or whatever. You always say, instead of when, you say whenever. So it's like, do you remember that one specific time whenever we went? But whenever is general and it's cute. I like that you do it.
I have no idea. All I know is whenever, wherever, we're meant to be together. I'll be there and you'll be here. Anyways, we should not sing ever on this, but
no, we're going to get unsubscribes like crazy from singing.
So should I say when we get together, let's do this? Or should I say whenever we get together, we should do this?
Okay, now we need to put it up to millions because maybe I'm the one who's wrong. But I always say it's when, like when we get together, you're referring to like a specific time. Not like, oh, whenever we get together, whenever it happens.
I mean, whenever is more like, I guess, fluid.
I know.
When is more like rigid.
And yeah.
So like when I go to work tomorrow, I'm going to be very tired. Or not whenever I go to work tomorrow. I might just show up whenever. I don't know.
Might be there, might not.
Might not.
Might pull Julie Ertz. I don't know.
Anyways. Also, this hurts so bad. Oh my God. Like I can't even talk right. Like I keep like tripping on my lip because it's so fat.
You did
I
a
don't know.
really
Can you
good
see
job,
it?
though. You made it all the way through. I know it's gross. I'm
Look at
sorry.
this.
No, it's
Anybody
really
out
bad.
there? Yeah, it's really bad. And every time I like eat or chew gum, it gets worse because unfortunately it's so swollen. I can't keep it out of the way of my stupid teeth. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
anyways, today was rough. I am tired. I have wine. We are
Yeah.
good. I'm
Let's let
surprised we made
you
it through this. Thanks for everybody for sticking with it. Like I was not sure how this was going to go. It was really terrible. Please just know it's a one-off and it's so hard right now. Like getting up at 4:50 in the morning and having to be productive and actually like take care
You're
of other
adjusting.
people in surgery. It's hard. It brain drains you like you wouldn't believe. And I'm just like,
You're
especially today.
adjusting.
So
It's gonna take a while too to get back into the swing of it. I mean, especially considering how freakishly early you have to get up and how
it's
focused you have
not
to be.
natural. mean,
Everybody send Amanda wine, send her a hug and some love. She needs it right now.
so tired. I mean, 6:30 to 5:30 today, and I'm good. So,
You
anyways,
still
like I
look
said,
like
thank you to
you
everybody. I'm so glad you were here with us. It definitely gave me a little more energy. So, I hope you guys continue to pop in the chat. Look out for our next question of the week. We'll see what that could be. We don't know quite yet. It could be something we see in the news. Maybe something great will happen within the Spanish Federation that we can pull people on. Like,
well, something
you
kind
know,
of did.
oh yeah, they fired the coach.
They fired the coach. Small progress. Take what I can get.
Whatever. They need to throw the whole thing away.
Yeah. Like, we're looking for more.
The whole thing is rotten. Throw it all out. So.
Yeah. The mold got on everything.
Yes.
All
right.
Let's
Guys,
go home.
thank you again. I'm gonna go lay down. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm almost so delirious. I don't even know if I'll sleep yet. So hoping the wine helped. If not, well, whenever I get to it, I will.